Hi, my name is Alyssa Wheeler. I'm a secondary ed major with a concentration in English, and my lesson plan is titled, What is Active Learning? And I used the category Learning in the Brain, and I kind of took this direction with it just because it was a lesson plan that I'd been thinking about already, and it kind of applied. So I did this activity just because I think students should be taught how to learn before they're expected to just take tests on material or just recall material out of their brains. Like, you have to teach them how their brain works so they can help themselves learn. And that's basically what this lesson plan is letting them figure out an active learning strategy for themselves through this activity, instead of just being like, this is an active learning strategy and this is what you need to do. So it kind of takes them through the steps of an active learning strategy, and basically they will read a paragraph with a partner and then immediately just recall what they heard. And this is supposed to just show, like, lecture isn't the best avenue for student learning and retention of information. Basically, they're just going to brain dump whatever you lecture to them. So the first time that their partner recites this paragraph to them, they're only going to be able to recite back maybe 30%. And then they're going to do this again. And the second time, their partner is going to write on the whiteboard, take notes, draw a diagram, draw some pictures, actually take the time to teach the material to their partner as if they're preparing them for a test, which is basically an oral test. So they're teaching their partner in a way that helps them remember. So by teaching, they're manipulating that knowledge in their head as well as giving it to their partner. And then their partner, while they're watching their partner teach, is actually taking notes, and they need to be taking notes the whole time. And by taking notes, they're actually putting into writing what they're learning. And this is supposed to show students that by using the knowledge and actively doing something with it and thinking about it, that it helps them retain it better than just listening. And I think this is important for students to get out of it, that they may think they're learning during a lecture, but they're not. Like, most students in college would be like, yeah, that was a good lecture. Like, I think I learned a lot. But if they were to be asked to write it in a paper or take a quiz over it, they probably wouldn't retain very much information. But with active learning, you're manipulating that information that you're receiving, you're putting it in your own words, you're doing something with it, you're critically thinking about it, and that's what makes the knowledge stick, because it makes the knowledge useful to the students, and it's something that they can use and they can pull from. So that's basically why I think it's important, is just that students need to realize their learning process. And that's basically what we're getting from this, is we're not telling them either that they should active learn and this is how they should active learn. They're kind of discovering for themselves what works. Like, oh, I said this and it helped me remember it, or I wrote it down and it helped me remember, or I drew it on the board and that helped me remember. So they kind of are learning about their metacognition, so they're thinking about what they're thinking about. And that's what they're supposed to get from this lesson. And it's something that's not really taught in classes. You're just expected to already know how to learn. And I believe if you don't teach a student how to learn or how they're supposed to gather information, they're not going to make the most of the information that they are being given. And the teacher is just kind of wasting their time at that point. So this would definitely be an activity that I would open my year with, or I would do kind of early on in the year, before I started actually asking them to take quizzes or write essays, especially in a literature class, before even like diving into a text and trying to do reading comprehension, any of that stuff. So I think this is important for students and teachers to understand, is what is active learning and how this is the way to teach these new generations of students. So as the new generations of teachers, we kind of have to change how we were taught, which was probably not the best because we were just hit with lecture and here, take this quiz, here, write this paper. And like looking back, I don't think I was ever taught how to learn. And I think this is a very valuable lesson for students. My lesson plan was geared at early high schoolers, but you could definitely change this up a little bit or do it at a smaller scale and implement it in like a middle school. Definitely. Okay. Thank you for watching.